So, good day everyone. We are the presenter of Group 4. So, by the way, my name is Michael J. Murial, the group leader of Group 4. So, at this juncture, we will tackle about the Chapter 3, the darkroom processing and modern print processing lesson 4. So, darkroom processing and modern print processing. So, what is darkroom? Darkroom is used to process photographic film, to make prints, and to carry put other associated tasks. It is a room that can be completely dark to allow the processing of the light-sensitive photographic materials, including film and photographic paper. So, ang darkroom daw isa sa room na completely dark to allow the processing of light-sensitive photographic materials like film and photographic paper. So, darkroom use red light to allow photographers to control light carefully, so the light-sensitive photographic paper will not become overexposed and ruin the pictures during the development process. So, makita ninyo sa picture na pula ang gigamit na light. So, nganong pula man? Pula ilang gigamit na light para daw ma-control nila ang suga da dili maruin or overexpose ang result sa ilang printing. So, the next reporter will tackle about the black and white processing and printing. So, there are 6 black and white processing and printing. Number 1 is the negative development. The second one is developers and their characteristics. The third one, stop bath. Fourth, fixing. And the fifth one is washing. And the last one is drying.
So, good morning, good afternoon. I am Fel David Aliado and I will be discussing about the darkroom processing and photo processing. So, number 1 is the negative development. Negative development in the context of photo processing. Negative development refers to the process of developing photographic film negatives. During this process, exposed film is treated with chemicals to bring out the latent image captured by camera. The negative contains inverted tones, meaning light areas appear dark and vice versa. So, ang isa ka negative film or ang negative photo, muna siya ang isa ka picture na wala pa kayo siya color, kaya wala pa siya na-develop. So, ang negative, gingon diri, mao na siya ang isa ka picture na with inverted tones, meaning na ang light area mag-appear siya og dark, and then ang dark area mag-appear siya og light. So, ang isa ka negative na film or picture, kung mabutakan na siya mga chemicals, ma-develop na siya, gawas na ang iyang latent image captured by the camera. So, kung sa itong picturean, si color ato, mao ang magawas once ma-develop na sa ka-picture. So, mao na siya ang negative development. From its word development, proseso na siya. So, number 2 kay developers and their characteristics. So, developers and their characteristics consist typically of one or more developing agents, a preservative such as sodium sulfite to prevent oxidation by the air, an alkali sodium such as sodium carbonate to activate the developer, and restrainer or antiphagant to ensure that the developer acts only on exposed silver halide crystals. The developer's main characteristics are activity, development speed, and effect on film gradation, graininess, and sharpness. So, ang developers kay wala na siya nag-refer sa tao, nag-refer na siya sa mga chemicals na ginagamit para sa photo processing. Mo na siya mga chemicals na ipambutang sa mga picture. Marag na siya mga factors ba para ma-achieve ang good quality sa isa ka picture. Sa gingon diri kay the main developers main characteristics are activity, development speed, and effect on film gradation, graininess, and sharpness. So, mo na siya ang mga good quality sa isa ka picture. So, mao ni siya si developer na reducer. It is a chemical solution used to decrease the density of a negative or print. It selectively reduces the dark areas of the image, making them lighter and more transparent. This process is often used to correct the exposed or dense areas in a photograph, allowing for a better tonal balance and detail in the final image. So si reducer ra nang ang pag-develop sa isa ka picture kay dili kay sa left side sa isa ka picture kay okay na siya, sharp na ang isa ka picture, and sa right side sa picture kay murag ka nang hayag-hayag siya gamay, so dili siya pantay. So gamitan na siya og reducer katong part sa picture na dili siya tarong para mapantay ang isa ka picture. Ang hayag na side i-reduce niya para mapantay dito ka sa okay na side sa isa ka picture. So mo na si reducer. And then si activator kay sodium carbonate is used an alkaline activator in the development process of black and white film. When mixed with a developer, sodium carbonate helps to activate the development chemicals, aiding in the formation of visible image on the film. So si activator, from its word activator, ang ginactivate niya mga chemicals na ipang-apply sa isa ka picture sa photo processing. So kung wala ni si activator, useless ang mga chemicals na ipangbutang ninyo kung dili siya ma-activate. So mo na ang pulos ni activator. And then si restrainer kay it is a potassium bromide. Its function is to make sure that the part of the film or paper that was exposed gets developed. So ang pagka-develop sa isa ka picture, kung dili siya pantay, halimbawa Japon, ang left side sa isa ka picture, left part sa isa ka picture kay hayag, and then ang right side kay ngit-ngit. So bago nimo na siya i-develop katong ngit-ngit na part sa picture, butakan to nimo siya og restrainer para pag-develop nimo katong dark side lang sa isa ka picture, mao lang to siya ma-develop para mapantay nimo ang isa ka picture. So mo na si restrainer, i-restrain niya. And then si preservative kay are chemicals that help keep developed photos from deteriorating. So deteriorating mo na siya kanang maguba ang picture, magpanit-panit, and they stop further chemical reactions, making the images stable and long-lasting. Preservatives ensure photos stay in good condition for a long time. So mo na mga picture na lig-on kay mga picture, dili kayo siya magpanit-panit kung madugay. So motaas din ang duration sa isa ka picture basta mabutangan siya og preservative, dili siya maguba dayon, dili siya magisi-gisi, di magpanit-panit. So mo na si preservative. And then si hardener. Kay hardener is a chemical solution added to photographic emulsion or prints to increase their durability and resistance to physical damage. So pag ang picture, kung mabutangan siya og hardener, dili siya basta-basta maguba, kung makambrasa ng picture, dili siya magasgas. And mo lagi ang gingon dira kay to increase their durability and resistance to physical damage. Mulig-on ang isa ka picture kung mabutangan siya og chemical na hardener. So maura to sa ako ang part sa report. Salamat kayo.
Good day everyone, I am Jaylo M. Malirang and I am tasked to continue the report of black and white processing and printing. So number 3, the stop bath, a weakly acidic solution used in photographic processing to stop the action of a developer on a film, plate, or paper before the material is immersed in fixer. Print developer is alkaline and stop bath is acidic. Stop bath can be reused if not exhausted. So pwede siya magamit pag wala kayo siya na overuse nga chemicals. Next one is the water rinse bath. To retard action of the developing agent and remove the excess developer from the film, thus preventing contamination of the fixing bath. A water rinse bath is suitable and enough for most negative, however, it dilutes the fixer. So, when it is used, it should be followed by acid bath. The same procedures applies when processing print. So, lahi ang pag-develop sa isa ka film dati na tayo gitawag nga rinse bath, naputay acidic bath, and the hardening process. So ang ikaduha nga process is acid rinse bath. It is sometimes referred to as stop bath and is more effective than water rinse as it instantly neutralizes the action of the developer and stop further development. It also neutralizes the alkalinity of the developer and prolongs the life of acetic acid in 32 hours of water. So kani siya pag naakas na sa dark room ang developer, ang kanang picture is ginabutang na siya sa kanang masyag acid para mapilit dito ang picture nga gusto ipa-develop sa isa ka client. So pag dito dapat tarong og measure ang acid para dili kayo mo ito mga picture og dili po kayo nga hanap lang. So clear siya. So next one is the hardening rinse bath. It is used when it is impossible to control the temperature of the solution, particularly the wash water, or when develop is done in a high temperature or under tropical conditions. So kani siya, hardening rinse bath, ginabalik-balik na siya dito sa acid kay para mas mo magdugay ang image. Wala siya. So number 4 is fixing. Mo ni siya actually ang last part sa pag-developing process, which is contains a chemical that converts silver halide into soluble complex silver salts and dissolves into a fixer. During the process, the film loses its original silver halide silkiness, overlaying the message and becomes clearer. So mana siya kaning fixing man siya ang kanang last part sa pag-develop sa picture. Ginabutangan og chemicals para mas ma-clear ang picture nimo. Kabali mo ginabutangan mo nagtubig tapos i-rinse nimo, balik na pud nimo, hinluan jud tong mismo nga film para mawala ang katong mga tawag ni para dili mag-fog ang picture. Mana siya. Mo ni actually ang mga agents nga kanang appeal sa fixing and sa water rinse bath. Neutralizer, acetic acid, clearing and preserving. Actually, na-report niya siya sa kanina. Hardener, aluminum chloride is typically used as a hardener. Primary function is to shrink and harden the emulsion. So, mo ni siya ang katong nagapadikit o tong block mismo sa paper nga develop. Mo na siya. Neutralizer prevents overdevelopment and fogging the film. Mo na siya. The fixer solution also clears the underdeveloped silver halide gains from the film. And the preservative para mas magdugay ang image. So that would be all in my report and it will be continued by my classmate. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, my name is Rich Nadenes and I'm your reporter for today. So I'll tackle to you the washing and drying. So first we tackle the washing. Washing is a next pass through a water bath to wash the fixer solution out for emulsion. It is especially important to remove the thiosulfate. If thiosulfate hypo is retained in emulsion, it will react with a silver nitrate and air to form silver sulfate, a yellowish brown stain. The amount of thiosulfate retained in the emulsion determines the useful lifetime of a processed film. So washing is the wash step in processing photograph film, a continuous rapid change of water at the surface of the film is the most effective way to wash. So after film has been developed and fixed, it must be washed in the water to remove the thiosulfate, or also called hypo. That means it remains in the emulsion. Thiosulfate means the gelatin is difficult to remove. It is allowed to remain. It will react with atmospheric sulfur of stain, bleach, and liquid in the image over time. So, washing, kailangan nyo na ito ibabad sa tubig para malimpyuhan ang film, para matanggal ang thiosulfate. So, next is drying. Drying is a final step in processing is to dry the film by passing it through the chamber in which hot air is circulating. Film are hung up to dry after removal from the tank. So, drying daw is kang mo na ang final step sa processing. It means that kailangan nato pa ugahon ang film ug ang imo lang nato is ihangin nato ug ipauga ug ipakuan pahanginan nato ang film tapos tanggal na nato sa. And that's all. Thank you.
Hello guys, this is my report. High-speed processing. Greatly reduced processing times are possible with high activity develops at elevated temperatures and with fast-acting fixing agents with such as ammonium thiosulfate. So, high-speed processing in darkroom photography involves using faster chemicals or adjusting development times to shorten the processing time. This is useful when you need to quickly develop a film or print. It allows for faster turnaround without compromising image quality, making it ideal for situations where time is limited or when you need to review results promptly. So, the next is safe lighting. Darkrooms in which film is loaded into cassette and transferred to processors are usually illuminated with safe light. A safe light emits a color of light the eye can see but that will not expose film. So darkroom safe lighting in darkroom processing, it is a special type of light designed not to affect the photosensitive materials. The color of the safe light is chosen because it has a longer wavelength, which is less likely to expose the film or paper. This allows you to see what you're doing without ruining your photographic materials. Next is contact printing or printing. The simplest printing equipment is the contact printing frame, in which the negative and printing paper are held together behind a glass plate during exposure to a suitable lamp. Next is projection printing. Projection printing is a type of printing where the image in a negative is optically projected or enlarged onto a print for exposure to produce a picture image. So, printing in darkroom processing is the process of creating a physical photograph from a negative. This involves projecting light through the negative onto light-sensitive paper, which brings out the image. So, the paper is then developed, fixed, rinsed, and dried to produce a finished photograph. This method offers precise control over the final image and allows adjustment to factors like exposure and contrast. It's a skill that photographers use to create tangible, high-quality print.
Hey everyone, I am Jiboy Liwaya. I will continue to discuss the darkroom processing. Enlargers. Negatives usually are enlarged to prints of the desired final size. The enlarger is a projection system on a vertical column mounted on a horizontal baseboard. Enlarger, also called projection printer in photography. This device is producing a photographic print or negative larger than the original negative or transparency. Next is printing papers. Papers for enlarging in contact printing are produced in grades of differing exposure range. The various grades yield prints of a normal tone range from negatives of different contrasts. So, printing paper means paper designed for printing. But in darkroom processing, there are using two types of printing papers. For black and white, which is resin coated paper and fiber-based paper. And this type of papers are sensitive to light and used in creating photographic prints. So next is printing exposures. Correct printing exposures are determined by trial and error or by test strips, giving a series of progressively increasing exposure. So sa printing exposure, test printing sila para para makita nila kung nanobra ba ang exposures. So para maka-create sila og exposure nindot nga exposures, test printing sila. So that's the end of my topic.
Print processing refers to the step involved in generating a physical or digital printout of a document or image. It typically involves creating a digital files. Formatting is a printing and then using a printer to produce a content on paper or digital format. Dry processing is a method used in various industries such as food production or coffee processing, wherein materials or products are handled without the use in liquid. It typically involves processing like sorting, drying, and packaging. Stabilization processing involves making adjustment or change to maintain a steady or controlled condition in a system often used in fields like engineering, medicine, or technology to ensure stability and reliability.
Good day everyone. Today I assigned to report this topic, modern printing process, and we will start. First is indirect printing. Indirect printing is the image first transfer from the image carrier to the blanket cylinder and then to substrate. So indirect printing is not transfer from the printing plate directly to the surface being printed. Instead, indirect printing is the image printed on a blanket cylinder which is turned indirectly transfer the image to the paper. Second is direct printing. Direct printing is the image transfer directly from the image carrier to the substrate. Example of this: gravure, flexography, screen printing, and letterpress printing process. And that's all. Thank you.
So, good day mga classmates. I am Godfrey B. Borol Jr. So, ang naka-assign na topics ako ay ang 4 general types of printing. First kay letterpress relief printing. Second, intaglio or gravure printing. Third, phonographic or lithography printing. Last is puro screen printing. So kani silang upat is pareha na sila purpose kundi maka-create og multiple printed images. Ang nakalahi lang sila ilang proseso sa pag-print. So, ang first kay letterpress or relief printing. A long-standing printing process involves creating images raised above a background, applying ink to the raised area, and then contacting the paper to substrate to accept the image. So, mga example sa materials or item na mga na ginaproduce ani kay mga wedding invitation card, poster, o business cards. Second kay intaglio or gravure printing. Involve recess images into an engraved plate or cylinders, pat in ink, and then remove with the tufter blade. This process is common in long-run printed products like magazines and packaging materials. So, muna siya ang ginagamit sa mga magazines and packaging materials tungkol kay paspas tapos dagan ang mabuhat niyan tungkol kay dili mano-mano ang iyang proseso. Third kay phonographic or lithography printing. Use the similar materials to create water-receptive or water-repelling areas for ink transfer. The solvent ink-receptive areas carries the image while the water-receptive areas becomes the background. Offset printing, a transfer process, is widely used in printing, publication, and public application. So, ang mga materials na ginaproduce ani kay printing books, catalogs, and posters. So, ang last kay porous or screen printing. Involves placing stencil over a mesh screen, applying ink to the open screen areas, and processing over commonly used for textiles, poster, displays, and wallpaper. So, kaning porous printing kay ginagamit yun sa kasagaran sa paghimo og mga custom clothing, canvases, artwork, o mga poster.
Good day everyone, my name is Jun Martin Navarro, and I really want to discuss about the printing processing. What are the steps of the printing process? Each printing process is divided into pre-press, press, and post-press steps. The first one is the post-press. Primarily involves the assembly of printed materials and consists of binding and finishing operations. So it means the post-press refers to the activities that take place after the initial printing of a document or project. This includes the arrangement of the finishing process and treatments that enhance the final appearance and functionality of the printed piece. Post-press also involves the quality controls checks to ensure that the printed materials are free from any defects or errors. This may include the checking for color accuracy, alignment, and print quality. And the second one is the pre-press operations. Encompass steps during which the idea for a printed image is converted into an image carrier such as plate, cylinder, or screen. Pre-press operations include the composition and typesetting, graphic arts, photography, image assembly, and image carrier operations. So it means that the pre-press operations refers to the various tasks and processes that are carried out before a design or image is ready for printing. These operations are crucial to ensure that the final printed product is of high quality and meets the desired specifications. So the third one is the press. It refers to the actual printing operations. It means that the press is a method of producing mass copies of printed materials. It involves the use of the printing press, which is machine specially designed for this purpose. The process typically begins with the design and preparations of the printing plate or template, which contains the desired text and images. During the printing operation, ink is applied to the printing plate, and then the plate is pressed against the sheet of paper or another suitable material. The pressure exerted by the press transfers the ink onto the paper, creating a printed image. This process is repeated for each sheet of paper, allowing multiple copies to be produced quickly and efficiently. That's all. Thank you.
What are the chemical used in printing process? Each process uses a variety of chemical depending on the operation involved. Number 1. Pre-press operations typically involve photo-processing chemicals and solution. Magkatag example unsa ang pre-press operation. And for ang example sa pre-press operation, paghimo og libro, mo na siyang example sa pre-press operation or photo processing. Number 2, ink and cleaning solvent are the major type of chemical used during press operation. Muna siya duha ka buok ang kailangan jud pag mag pre-press operation, ang ink o ang cleaning solvent. Kay di man jud mahimo ang libro kung walay ink, walay masulat, walay black nga di tayo mabasa. Number 3, depending on finishing work required, post-press operation can use large amount of adhesive. So kailangan siya og daghan na ink para makumpleto ang akong hatag na example na paghimo og libro. Like, this is especially true where the production of books and directors involved. Of all the chemical used in typical printing plants, ink and organic cleaning solvent are the categories used in the largest quantities. Many of the chemical used in printing industry are potential hazard to human health and the environment. So, chemical man siya, na possible na makadaot siya sa tong health or sa environment. Thank you.
So that's all for today. We hope that you've learned something about our discussion. So the members of Group 4 are Malirong, Sarong, Aliado, Ines, Liwaya, Mihiyas, Sidlao, Purol, Navarro, Icuben, and lastly our group leader Murial Michael G.S. Thank you and goodbye.